Hi, hello dear students. This is Rana Ramadan, English teacher. I'm pleased to be with you today. Well, thanks to virtual learning and all efforts done for this purpose. Thanks to our dear supervisor, Miss Lubna Abu Saleh. Well, today we're going to work on Unit 5 Literary section, Grade 12. The major title of this unit is Civil Rights. As you see, it's a political essay and a political unit. You see here, Unit 5, Civil Rights. By the end of this lesson, you will be able, dear students, to ask and give information about civil rights, practice using relative clauses, differentiate between voiced and voiceless sounds, practice using law idioms, express complaints and apologies, write an article about rights and duties. As you know, my dear students, usually in every unit, we try to practice the 4 skills: speaking, writing, reading, listening. So let's go and start with our lesson. As usual, we have a text, and it's a good thing for all learners to have a quick look or a quick reading. Have a look to the text just to figure out what's the text about. And then you can define and identify some certain ideas that the text contains. Now here I have a summary. I highlighted some important ideas that the text contains. Human rights, as you see here, human rights are the rights which one acquires by being alive. Civil rights are the rights that one obtains by being legal member of a certain political life. Civil rights guarantee equal protection under the law. Civil and political rights protect individuals' freedoms from violation. Civil rights are secured by a positive government action, often in the form of legislation. Here are the main ideas that our text contains. Now, when we deal with the text, for sure, there are some certain words, vocabularies, we need to learn them. And it's good to memorize them and use them in new sentences to know the meaning of each word. Here we have an exercise to practice these vocabularies. Match these words with their meanings. Vote, guarantee, violation, discrimination, repression, restraints, trail, deny, legislation. Now, I will give you just 1 minute to think and match these definitions with the words. Vote. What's the definition that can be matched with it? Well, fine. It's here. A form of choice you take in an election. Guarantee. Yeah, good. With A. To give an assurance that something will be done right. Number 3, violation. With E. Yeah, good. Here, discrimination. With H. The practice of treating someone less fairly than others. Repression. With I. Using force to control a group of people and restrict their freedom. Restraints. With G. Rules which limit what people can do. Trail. Yeah, good. With D. A legal process to decide if somebody is guilty or not. Deny. With C. Good. Well done. To say that something is not true. Legislation. With B. A law or a set of laws. As you see, my dear students, all the words here are political terms. Okay, fine. Now, we have another here exercise so that we can practice these vocabularies and our comprehension to the text. Choose the most appropriate completion, A, B, or C. Human rights are guaranteed to each individual in society. What do you think the proper completion to this sentence? Well, let's see. Good. It's during lifetime. In comparison with civil rights, human rights. So the completion will be related to human rights. Again, in comparison with civil rights, human rights are given to individuals by the government or acquired by nature or are freedoms made by the individuals themselves. Let's see. Wow. Number 3, the right to use public facilities is an example of a human right or natural right or civil rights. What do you think? Yeah, let's see. It's civil right. Number 4, it is, and here we have a gap, to prevent people from participating in political life. Is it urgent or legal or illegal? Well, come on, what do you think? Good, it's illegal to prevent people. Number 5, legislations are formed by the government to either assure or ignore or protect that people enjoy their civil rights. Well, to assure that people enjoy their legal. Now we have some adjectives and words that were contained in our text. And here we have the opposite of these words. Find words in the text which have the opposite meaning of the following words. The first one, it's dead. Try to guess, my dear students. What's the opposite? Okay, it's alive. Number 2, artificial. What's the opposite of artificial? Good, natural. Unjust, yeah, it's fair. Fair, opposite of unjust. Allowed, the opposite is prevented. It's a verb here. Admitted, okay, denied. Negative, well, it's positive. Good, thank you. Now, since we're talking about politics, we have some related issue. It's law, idioms. Now we're going to learn some law idioms. As you see here, we have some sentences that have some explanation, or we can replace the law idioms by the ones in the box. Here the first one. You should speak directly and ask for a raise. Don't hesitate in getting to the point. Don't hesitate in getting to the point. The idiom that suits this explanation is beat around or beat upon the bush. You see? So again, the idiom it is beat around the bush. Don't beat around the bush. It means go straight to your point. Number 2, the insurance company refused to pay the money because they said that the forest fire was the will of God. The fire was with the will of God. Let's see what idiom that suits this underlined ones. Yeah, it was an act of God. It was an act of God. Number 3, the lawyers were unable to collect data against the man. So the underlined ones to collect the data. Let's see what law idiom that suits this one. Okay, assemble the case. Again, we can say the sentence like, the lawyers were unable to assemble the case against the man. Okay, number 4, the man was forced to quit his job after it was discovered that he had acted against the law. So, what's the idiom that can be replaced? Acted against the law. Let's see. Well, he had broken the law. He had broken the law. Here it is past perfect tense. Okay, number 5, our lawyer is very good and he does everything exactly as the rule says. Which one? Yeah, so he does everything exactly as the rules say, by the book. By the book. Okay, these are law idioms, so we can use them in our conversations to practice speaking. Now we move to this part that concerned with the pronunciation. To pronounce English words properly. Now we have the term voiced and voiceless consonants. You know, my students, all consonants are classified and categorized into two categories. The first one, voiced consonants, and the second one is voiceless consonants. All sounds are either voiced or voiceless. Voiced consonants. Now we can ask ourselves, what's the term voiced consonants? Voiced consonants are those that make our vocal cords vibrate when they are produced. Voiceless consonants are those that do not make our vocal cords vibrate when they are pronounced. An example, the word bit. Bit is starts with B sound, it's voiced one. While the word pet, the sound P sound is voiceless. Bear in mind, dear students, that all vowels are voiced. Here we have a chart of the voiced and voiceless phonetic symbols. Now, P, T, K, F, Th, S, Sh, Ch, all these are voiceless, while J, J, Z, V, V, G, D, B, G, and Ra, all these are voiced sounds. Now we have this chart. You can practice classifying the sounds in bold in the table above as shown in the chart below. Okay, this is a task for you to practice voiced and voiceless sounds. Here we have a group of words in each column that we have bold phonetics, phonetic symbols or letters, these sounds, and your task, dear students, just to make your decisions if these sounds are voiced or voiceless. Now, voiced sounds like John, gentle, January, and the fourth column it's zoo, zigzag, zon, the sound z. Okay, now the voiceless sounds you see here: church, child, chair. So the sound ch, it's voiceless. And the third column, it's s sound, sister, Simon, see. The sound s is voiceless. So now we have an idea about voiced and voiceless consonants, and we need to practice pronouncing them properly. Okay? Good. Now we come to grammar section in our unit. In this unit, we're going to deal with this topic, relative pronouns and relative clauses. What's the relative clauses? Okay, relative clauses provide descriptive information about a noun or a noun phrase. Relative pronouns are used to connect relative clause to the main clause in the sentence. You see, so relative clauses provide descriptive information and help to connect the relative clause to the main sentence. And these relative pronouns are classified in a certain way. Look, number one here, who and whom, that, for people. You see, but here is a note, dear students, that who refers to subject, whom refers to the object. What do we mean by subject and object here? We mean that the action done by this person, we call it's a subject. So when we have a relative pronoun that connected with this noun, so it refers to a subject. While if we have an object that receives the action, we have this pronoun here, you see, whom. It refers to the object. Look at the example here. This is the girl who called. This is the girl who called. It means that the girl who she herself did the action of calling. While in the second here example, this is the girl whom I called. It means that the girl, she received the action. She received the calling. The girl is the object here. The second pronoun, it's whose, and it's usually used for possession. Example, the man whose car is parked there, is our professor. This is for possession, the possession of the car here. Which or that for things. Where for place. Okay, or that or which. But usually when we deal that and which, we use it with a preposition. Look at the example here. The city where I grew up is very nice. When we use which or that, we use this preposition or another preposition. Anyway, we use preposition. Look at the example here. The city which or that I grew up in is very nice. And it could be the city in which or in which I grew up is very nice. The fifth one, the last one, when, is used for time. For example, the day when is your birthday is my favorite day. Okay, fine. And now here we have a good idea about relative pronouns and relative clauses. Again, we have here, defining clauses and non-defining clauses. An important issue here that we can classify clauses into defining clauses or non-defining clauses. So what do we mean by the term defining clauses? Well, defining clauses are clauses carrying essential information. It means that we cannot delete this information. If we delete this information, the sentence cannot stand and has a full meaning. Without it, the main clause will fail to convey a full meaning because of the necessity of their information. Defining clauses are not set apart by commas. So defining clauses, we don't use with them, commas. Here is the website which my sister created. We cannot delete which my sister created because this relative clause is a defining one. While non-defining clauses are clauses that contain additional information that we can delete them and the main clause still has a full meaning. Non-defining clauses require the use of commas. So we use commas with non-defining clauses, okay, to distinguish the additional information from the rest of the sentence. Look at the example here. My cousin who volunteers at a local homeless shelter won the lottery. Let's delete this non-defining clause, who volunteers at a local homeless shelter. We can say, my cousin won the lottery. My cousin won the lottery. It's a sentence, has full meaning, and deleting non-defining clause, the relative clause, did not affect the meaning of the whole sentence, but it gives us additional information. That can only be used in defining relative clauses. Remember this note. That can only be used in defining relative clauses. Now, since we had a good idea about relative pronouns and relative clauses, and we classified them into two major parts, defining and non-defining clauses. Now, let's practice something to make sure that we got the idea about using relative clauses and relative pronouns. Here, as you see, we have an exercise to apply and do this exercise using relative pronouns and relative clauses. Choose the correct pronoun in these sentences. Number one, we have a package for the man. You see, the man. The word that precedes the brackets, it's the man. People, remember people. That we have a package for the man who or which stopped by today. Yeah, what do you think? Yes, dear students, come on. Let's see. It's who, because it refers to people. Number two, I met the author. Who or whose? The book is on the bestseller list. Yes, come on, think again. We have here the word author, but it's connected with the book because the author possesses and owns the book. Okay? What do you think? Come on. Yeah, I met the author whose book is on the bestseller list. Number three, the income tax that or which he paid last year is accurate. The income tax That or which. Here I think both okay, but here it's which he paid the last year is accurate. Now remember, we can't use that. It should be which. Number 4, will you be presenting the slides whose or which you took in Canada last summer? Will you be presenting the slides whose or which you took in Canada last summer? Here we're referring to the slides, and not, it's thing. Oh, fine. Which, because it refers to slides. Number 5, this is the city in which or in where Shakespeare was born. Yeah, good, because it's preceded by a preposition. It's in. Now, number 6, the evening is a time when or where we can all relax. The evening is a time. Good. When we can all relax. Well done. Thank you, dear students. Now again we have another exercise to practice using relative pronouns and relative clauses together. Which words in the box do the definitions below describe? Complete them with the correct relative pronoun. The words in the green box are bodyguard, photocopier, plumber, vacuum cleaner, laundry. Okay, number 1, A is a machine, space, makes copies of documents. What do you think? Yeah, let's see. A photocopier. A photocopier is a machine that makes copies of documents. Good. Let's see the next one. Did you think? Come on. Number 2. A bodyguard is a person. A person who protects important people from being attacked. Number 3. A is a place with the washing machines. Is a place with washing machines. Space, you can wash your clothes. Let's see. A laundry is a place with washing machines. Where you can. It tells about the place where you can wash your clothes. Now, number 4. A is a person. Job is to mend central heating, taps, etc. Who is this person? A plumber. A plumber is a person. A plumber is a person. Remember that after the space we have the word job. A plumber, yes. Whose job? A plumber is a person whose job is to mend central heating, taps, etc. Now, number 5, vacuum cleaner is a machine. Vacuum cleaner is a machine. Here we're referring to a thing you use to clean floors and carpets. What relative pronoun we use with things? Okay, it's which. A vacuum cleaner is a machine which you use to clean floors and carpets. Okay, now we come to the last part of our unit, maybe the part before the last one. The last one, it's writing an essay and use what we have already learned from the text. Well, now we're going to work on everyday English. How can we express as speakers complaints and apologies? Here we have a suggested dialogue to learn some idioms or expressions to use them to complain or to apologize. Now, the dialogue here, I'm afraid I have a complaint to make. Now, the first speaker shows some complaints, okay? Oh dear, please take a seat. I'm sorry to bother you. I'm sorry to bother you but the ability you say, the bill you sent me was inaccurate or incorrect. Incorrect, madam? Okay, that's very strange. Yes, I know. And what's more, this isn't the first time. You see, here is expressing complaint. This is not the first time. Really? Really? I can't believe it. It has happened 5 or 6 times. It's happened 5 or 6 times in the last 3 months. it really isn't good enough. So here, it's a way to show your apology. It really isn't good enough. Okay. Oh, well, I must apologize. You see here, the speaker P shows a kind of apology. I must apologize, madam. It's the new computer. Okay. Well, don't you think it is about time? Don't you think it's about time you got it working properly? Okay. Here's the speaker A shows a kind of complaint. Don't you think it's about time you got it working? Now the answer, speaker B says, you are right. I'm awfully sorry. I'm sorry. Again, it's a way to express your apology. I'm awfully sorry about it. I assure you it won't happen again. So, as you see, dear students, everyday English helps us to learn different expressions to express in different situations. Okay, like complaints, apologies today. How can you apologize? How can you complain in a proper way? Okay, hopefully you benefit from our lesson. It's time to say goodbye. Thanks for being with us, and thanks for all effort done for this particular purpose. Thanks.